necessary being?
Yeah, he's metaphysically
Does this being have
necessary.
intelligence?
I'm agnostic. I don't know.
So it's just a necessary entity.
Yep, necessary being.
Okay, so what if we just like said there was a necessary apple? Would that be God?
Okay, do you think God and the apple are the same being?
I mean, you said your definitional properties for God is
That
just
doesn't
being
answer my
necessary.
question. I asked you a
Okay, wait,
binary
it's
question.
based on your definition. I don't care like what we're
Yeah, yeah.
talking about.
Okay, yeah. I said
God is.
God's a
I'm
necessary
asking you, what
being.
do you think God is? You said you think God is a necessary
Okay, you
entity.
can have
I asked
two.
you. Hold on, wait. Just calm down. I just asked you if there's an
You don't
entity,
think one? You don't think more than
apple
one
or
being can be
that's
metaphysically
necessary.
necessary?
Oh, okay, but like, hold on. So wait, if there's more than one being that's metaphysically necessary, or necessary, whatever fuck you want to say, then
Okay.
what other additional properties do God have? Because you just said the only
I
property
literally
that
just
God
told you
with
that he's a
is
necessary
necessary.
being. He's a
Huh?
necessary being for the sake of the argument. I think
Okay.
you talking about other
Okay.
interpretations of God
Wait.
doesn't
Hold
hurt
on,
my
no.
argument.
Then again, this relates back to my question. If there's an apple that exists and it's necessary, is that God?
Okay, is the apple proven to be necessary?
Sure. Taking the example, it's given, it's necessary, bro. Like, given the example, it's necessary.
Okay, so by metaphysical necessity, are the two beings identical in nature? Like,
Wait,
do they
what do you
have the
think?
same
What do you
essence?
think metaphysical necessity references?
Okay, something can be necessary over a set or a given specific set of any metaphysically possible world, but
What is
that doesn't
what
mean
is
that. Wait,
what is
stop,
a
bro. Chill out,
metaphysical
bro.
motor
Chill
scope?
out,
I
bro.
don't
Stop,
understand
bro.
what you mean by
Bro, wait,
metaphysical
bro.
motor
Chill
scope.
out. I
Answer
wasn't
that,
even
because
Yeah,
done.
do y'all want moderation?
We can
yeah.
have
Hold on, wait.
moderation. You gotta.
Wait,
Yeah, we can have
Zenny. I'm trying to,
moderation. You gotta chill.
hold on, Zenny.
Let's
I'm
control
trying to
ourselves
ask
so
you.
that he can judge.
I'm trying to ask. Wait, hold on,
Bro.
Zenny. I'm trying to ask a clarifying question because I just don't understand what he means, and he's just
Yeah,
not clarifying.
look, yeah, that's fine, but like you just gotta wait for him to like finish his or his like
Yeah.
sentence. You can ask him like a clarifying question. That's all right. Something like that, fine.
Okay.
Just don't like I just don't
I got you. I
like the
bet.
niggas just
So,
talking
are
to each
you
other.
asking me what my semantics for a metaphysical necessary being?
I asking you to give your semantics for metaphysical motoscope.
Okay. A metaphysical motoscope is just the set of propositions for. Okay, it's specifically indexed to a thing's nature or how that thing works fundamentally. So, a given set of propositions for the nature that X has. So, let's say, for example, it's metaphysically necessary that if a ball is a ball, then it's a ball. I think that's the best
What?
way I could put it. Yeah, basically that's what it would be. Because, like,
Does
for
a
example, a
metaphysical
logical, like, wait, so, like, for example, a logical modal would govern whether or not something is possible, impossible, or a necessary thing. Now, when you're talking about a metaphysical modal you're specifically indexed to that thing's nature and essence, and not necessarily whether or not it has the property of being possible, impossible, or necessary. I agree it's baked into the specific modal but a logical one, like a logical modality, is more strict than a metaphysical one.
Yeah, that's just literally was just irrelevant to what I asked you. Okay,
My
okay, wait. So usually when people talk about metaphysical motoscope, they usually talk about conceivability.
How does that attack my point?
No, I'm just saying, like, when we talk about a metaphysical motoscope, we talk about, okay, it's possible if conceivable.
I don't know what you mean by conceivable. What does that
Yeah,
mean
like,
in your
sure,
opinion?
sure. Yeah, when I say conceivable, I just say able to be imagined.
Okay, so let me get it straight. Do you think you can imagine something infinite?
I think we can imagine something infinite?
Yes.
I mean, given there's no contradiction, yeah.
No, there would be a contradiction.
Yeah, what's the P and IP?
You're imagining it in finite time. How can you imagine something
Huh?
infinite? How can you imagine something truly infinite
Wait,
if
what
you're
is the
imagining it
relevance
in
of this?
finite time?
What is the relevance
Okay,
of
the
this?
point is that I don't adhere to your conceivable. I think that's retarded.
You think
Like,
that's
because
retarded when
what
that's
if, like, wait, so,
what
like, because, like, wait, chill
conceivability,
out, bro.
when
Can
metaphysical
I
motoscope
finish, bro?
refers to?
It cannot, bro. Can I finish, bro? Because given your own
What?
semantics, what if it's just the case that metaphysically baked, or rather nomologically baked into the entity's essence. They just can't perceive of X.
Yeah, I don't know what
It
any of
doesn't
that
mean.
means. You're
Wait,
just
wait,
using
wait.
big
Stop,
terms to make
stop.
yourself
Wait,
sound
can I,
smarter.
bro? Mute him, bro. Mute him, bro. Mute him, bro.
Wait, I don't know what that means.
Look,
No,
let's
mute
control
him.
ourselves so then he can judge.
Mute him. Mute him. No, no, no. Put him on mute. We gave this nigga way too many choices, way too many
Zenny's the
chances, bro.
moderator, by the way. Zenny can
Please,
decide.
please mute him.
Wait,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I thought, bro.
This
All
nigga's a
right, bro.
dumbass.
All right, we're
So
gonna let the
you
Kuma
might,
moderate.
Silence. And now talking.
you
Silence.
might, okay, so Kage, you might be talking about something entirely different, but just given the semantics you just gave for what it means to be conceivable, index to this point, it's irrelevant. I think even if we were to accept that model or worldview, it would lead to a contradiction because you can't really imagine something infinite. Again, maybe you're talking about the conceivability thesis. I think those are two different things. But the point is that if we're just going off of your base semantics, you said if they can imagine X, then it's possible. Okay, what if it's just the case that nomologically, epistemically speaking, they just cannot access X, or they do not understand how something is possible? And then now you get kicked, stupid bitch.
But I mean, conceivability thesis literally just states the exact same thing I said. So like, I mean, if you're trying to say what I said is different to sound smart, then I mean, I don't know what you're really talking
It's
about.
not.
But
Okay,
hold on, wait, can you be quiet? Like, wait, I gave you the charity of me being quiet,
okay, go
and
ahead.
now you're not like doing the
You
same.
cut
Okay,
out
thank
on
you.
mine. Go ahead.
Wait, no, wait, can you get muted like I did? Actually.
Yeah, he's muted, buddy. Mr. Kuma's gonna moderate.
Okay, thank you. So when we talk about a metaphysical motoscope, usually we just in reference to conceivability, for the modality function. So basically, when we say something is possible, we just say it's conceivable. When we say something is impossible, we just say it's unconceivable. And when we say something is metaphysically necessary, it means we have to imagine it we have to conceive of it in all possible worlds, right? And
Also, wait, you said
you try
what? Can you repeat the last part?
yeah, okay, if we say something is metaphysically
Wait, by the
possible,
way, wait, I have a question. Krumer is not gonna be the moderator, so I appeal to Krumer when there's like a.
Is that
said
fine with
what?
both of you?
Okay, so
Unless
let
you
me
want
get
somebody else.
Yeah,
That's
sure,
not a
we can
question,
we can
retard.
have
hey, wait,
Snake
we
moderate.
we can have
We can
Kruger
have
moderate.
no, bro. We can have Snake moderate, bro.
I
Bro,
said we
y'all
can have
don't,
Kruger.
bro. What's wrong with Krumer?
Yeah,
I
exactly,
mean, if
bro. Like
Careless,
I just said we can have Snake
I'm
moderate.
I'm not
I'm not
trying to hear the
having
bitch
Snake
and
moderate.
what the hell,
Either Snake moderates or there's no way. I don't care.
Bro,
bro?
I just
Kage, just
moderate.
get Snake, bro. Oh, okay, you got him
I
then.
just I continue.
Okay.
Careless, why do you think
Bro,
I'm biased, bro?
Bro, can you just go back on me, bro? So we can finish the point. So imaginable is also possible.
Poor Kuma.
all right.
All right, yo, Snake, you here, right?
Okay, yeah. So what I was saying.
Okay, so what do you think it
Hold on,
means for something to be
Can I finish
possible?
my sentence, retard?
I
Okay, what I
literally was
was.
just asking you a question.
Okay. I heard the question already.
That means okay. If I was asking you a question, I was talking first. Chill out, bro. So what
Okay,
do you
what were
think
you
it
asking?
means, bro? But chill out, bro. What do you think it means for something to be possible, and how does those semantics align with what the conceivability thesis is?
Wait,
And can
Snail,
we appeal to an actual
wait,
regular
Snail, join my
definition?
VC and strike
Yeah.
one day.
Okay.
Oh my
Conceivability.
god.
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Okay.
Bro,
Anyways,
drop down and
you isolate. Chill.
Go somewhere else for all
We're
that,
debating.
bro.
Bro, isolate. Chill. We're debating.
Yeah,
We're debating. Bro.
I say drop down and
We can
Bro,
just
okay. So what I was saying was this conceivability states that something X is possible if conceivable.
okay. Okay, no, okay. I
So,
get what the thesis itself states, but how is what it means to be possible compatible with those semantics for imaginability? How are they compatible?
do you understand what conceivability references or what conceivability is?
You
And
can
you know,
explain the view.
yeah, conceivability is just a function of your imagination, right? It's just like saying if you could conceive of something, then you could imagine something.
Okay, let's imagine someone is specifically conditioned in a reality or world where they can't imagine anything. Doesn't mean
Huh?
all other possibilities just can't exist or can't take form.
What? Say it again.
Let's imagine we have a world where X character is just conditioned by the laws that govern that specific world, and let's say that character is just isn't able to make any epistemic claim or to make any, just say really anything about X, which obviously is indexed to some type of modality or possibility. So the point of this question is that, does that mean every and other, like all other possibilities would just be not exist? Like, what does that mean? Confused.
I mean, I don't really get what the example is trying to say here.
Okay, I'll ask you the question one more time. Do you think it's possible for X to not be able to conceive of any possibility? And given your prior semantics, you said if it's not conceivable, therefore it's not possible.
I mean, yes. Okay. You can conceive of that because you can conceive of an object that's non-extended. When I say non-extended, I mean it doesn't have intelligence.
Why can't? Why?
Yeah, how can a being without intelligence conceive of anything?
Where is the contradiction?
Yeah, the contradiction is that they have no mind to imagine anything with. Imagination and conceivability is a function of your mental state. It's a function
This
of
is just begging the question.
No, that's not begging the question.
The reason you're
That's an analytical truth.
I wasn't mute him. The reason you're begging the question is because you're presupposing your own worldview. What's in question is whether or not we should accept the conceivability thesis. I just gave you a reductio. The point is that
that wasn't a reduction.
Wait, stop. You're going back and assuming that X needs intelligence to make Y plain. That's what's in question. I don't see anything logically inconsistent with X being non-intelligent. I'm saying the point is that...
I mean, okay, wait, what? There's no... Bro, Careless, you're not listening to me. I said, obviously, that imagination is possible because X can be a being without intelligence.
Well, okay, let me get this right. So you grant, in some possible world, there's a being that does not have any intelligence.
Yes. Dead bodies,
okay,
dead bodies.
Okay, wait, stop. Okay, wait. You agreed. Let me talk. Okay, if you agree to that, then you agree index to the laws that condition that specific reality. That would mean that if X can't conceive of Y, then any or all other possible things can't exist. That was your own semantics. That's a contradiction. Literally, the view is retarded. I can also
I don't know why. I
also just invoke parsimony from my...
Okay, wait, hold on. That's not... Wait, how is that a contradiction? I'm confused. Just because X can't conceive of anything, how does that mean that's a contradiction?
Oh, okay, I don't know what retard muted me when he asked me a fucking question. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Go ahead.
Can you ask the question again?
Okay, I was saying I don't see how that's a contradiction just because there's a being without intelligence.
Okay, the reason it's a contradiction is because priorly, your own semantics is that if X can't conceive of Y, then Y inherently is a contradiction or is impossible. You already granted under your view that in some possible world, Y cannot conceive of X. If Y cannot conceive of X, then that means it's a contradiction. Because any and all other possibilities, modal scopes just can't happen, just can't exist. They can't take form. That's the point.
Wait, hold on. Okay.
Stop, bro, stop. So if we accept this viewpoint all upon modality, there's no real way to infer anything because nothing is possible.
Dude, okay, I understand what you're trying to say, but this really doesn't work because when we're talking about a conceivability scope, it's in reference to a being with intelligence and with the ability to conceive, right? And if they can't conceive, and let's say like a being with intelligence, like for example, you can't describe... Hold on, wait, can you shut the fuck up? Okay.
I literally just asked you to repeat your point, bro.
Okay. Bro, so what I was saying is that that only references a being with the ability to conceive of something, right? If a being doesn't have the ability to, oh my god, that means it has the ability to imagine.
Well, okay, wait, can I ask you a question? No, I'm asking you, bro. I don't know.
No, I don't care. You wanted me to...
I'm asking you a question.
Zinni.
I'm literally... Wait.
Notice how he's being a hypocrite. I had to wait for him to ask me. I had to wait to ask him question when he was done, but he gets at me question in the middle of my fucking argument? Like, what?
I'm off. That was my bad. Just go ahead and finish your argument.
Okay, so what I was saying is that, so given if a being does not have the property of being able to imagine and something, right? Imagine X, then it can't imagine X. But it's only a contradiction if what they're trying to imagine is unconceivable, can't be imagined. That's a difference. There's a difference between a being not having kept the capacity to imagine something and something not being able to be imagined, right? That's the difference here. You're conflating those semantics. So when we say there's a being that can't imagine something that has no intelligence, all we're just saying is this being does not have the property of imagining X because it has no intelligence. But when we say something can't be imagined, we say due to the properties of that thing that cannot be imagined as given, we cannot describe that said as we cannot describe that said thing.
So no, mute him. Put him on mute. Put him on mute. Put him
I
on
don't
mute.
agree with talking
No,
shit, by the way.
shut the fuck up, nigga. Go on mute. He's interrupting me. Mute him. Thank you. Equal treatment, stupid bitch. You suck. Garbage can. Listen, I'm gonna say my closing statement. We can go to conclusions because you're fucking ass, my nigga. There is no inherent distinction. If you grant it's possible in some possible world that this thing cannot conceive of X, you can't try to hedge your way out of the semantics you already agreed what was the conceivability thesis. You specifically stated and posited that all the thesis means is that if you are not able to conceive of X, then it is impossible. That's the semantics you chose. Okay, if in some possible world this thing cannot be conceived of, this means that X or whatever you're specifically indexed to, the thing you're trying to conceive of, is impossible by definition. You're trying to hedge and modify your semantics. The proper way you would word it is that if in a specific world X can just has no intelligence, it doesn't mean that any other modality just can't function. You would have to say that specifically the view isn't specifically held upon what can be conceived of, but rather it's just something entirely different. You're just hedging what you initially said. We can conclude. You're garbage. Nigga is boo boo, bro. Fuck, yo, you can unmute him, bro.
Zenny, you understood the point so far, right?
I got the point down.
Okay. So we can go to conclusions because Careless obviously just didn't respond to what I said.
But conclude, bro. Conclude. You also don't
And
respond.
I don't think I need to conclude. If Zenny understands everything, I don't think I need to.
Zenny, can I please get my conclusion?
Yeah, sure, man. Go ahead, dog.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so listen. At the start of the debate, he initially said his semantics for the conceivability thesis is that if it can be conceived of, then it is. Wait, rather, if it can be conceived of, then it's possible. If it can't be conceived of, then it is impossible. You'd have to modify the semantics. You would never commit yourself to this view by saying, well, I don't know, in some possible world, X can't conceive of anything. If that's the case, then nothing would be possible. Index to what that thing or that being can conceive of. You'd have to modify what you initially said, so the view cannot specifically be built upon what you can conceive, because if you accept in some possible world, whatever law or metaphysical law conditions X, which is obviously the character's inability to perceive of Y, then this means that this character cannot conceive of anything, meaning nothing is possible. Simple as that. I also argue parsimony. You never get a refute. Nigga's ass. I don't even
I didn't actually see the parsimony point. So, no, for that, I might just say Careless won this point.
Wait, hold on. Okay, wait, Zenny. He was saying like, okay, you understood. You know what my response was?
Yeah, no, to the parsimony point. I mean, you guys are talking about the conceivability. I mean, that's fine, but all Careless is saying is that his hypothesis explains the data, whilst not assuming as much things.
Yeah, I understood what he was saying, right? Basically,
Yeah, I just
all
did,
he
yeah, that.
Wait, Zenny, can I speak, bro, please? Like,
okay.
All Careless was saying, right, is that given in some metaphysically possible world, right, there's a being. No, bro, can you okay, given in some possible world, doesn't have to be metaphysically possible, okay? Given in some possible world, there's something. Yeah, okay, dude, you're saying given in some possible world, right? There can be a being who doesn't have the ability to conceive of anything, a being with no intelligence, right? Yep. And says if that's true, then given there's nothing that's possible, there's nothing that can be conceived of. But so that's a contradiction under my definition of a metaphysical motoscope. But that's not what a contradiction was. I said the contradiction is if X object has properties that cannot be imagined, not if X being does not have the ability to imagine something. So that those are two completely different things. I distinct those things. I said those were distinct. Just because
Yeah.
there's some being in some possible world, right, that does not have intelligence and can't conceive of something does not mean it can't be conceived of. Those are two different things. That's not the same thing as saying X can't be conceived of. It's just saying X can't conceive of Y.
I
Just
mean, that's fine. Look, even
hold on, wait, Zinni, that's so retarded. That's like saying, oh, since a rock can't imagine a fucking square, therefore we can't. Like, obviously that's fucking stupid.
I
Bro,
mean,
like,
look, even though I disagree
That
with
doesn't
what
defeat
Careless
our
is
point at all.
saying, even if I do grant that Careless's hypothesis would still be more simple, as he never really contested that. And if it's more simple, then we still have no reason to believe that the hypothesis that you're positing,
Why?
is
Why?
better than because look,
I
yours would
mean,
have to assume more things, while Careless wouldn't have to assume these things.
no,
That's all
wait.
Careless
What
is
does
saying.
Linus have to assume more than Careless?
bro, listen.
Look,
Listen,
yeah, he
Wait,
just
That's
hold
claimed
on,
how.
that
no,
That's how. Wait,
no,
stop.
wait,
No,
whether
wait,
he
we are.
whether
No,
he
stop.
actually
Stop. The point's
substantiated on
over,
the
so I can
claim.
shut the fuck up, bitch. Listen, dumbass. The point that you were making, I gave a counter argument to that. Even if I don't do this stupid ass shit, this little dumbass shit, and I just refuted the little dumb shit you were saying. I made a point. I invoked parsimony. I said, by parsimony, I think my view on modalities would be the simpler one or the better one to accurately describe reality. You
Okay,
never
wait.
gave a
I'm not
counter
talking
argument.
to Careless.
Never
I'm
gave
not
a
talking
counter
to
argument.
Careless. I'm talking to Zenny right now.
I don't
Wait,
give
I
a
was,
Yeah,
was
fuck. And you can go right back on mute, bitch. Shut the fuck up.
hey, bro, stop rambling, bro. I'm not gonna
It's
stop
ass,
that.
bro.
yeah, bro. Like
Let the
this
guy.
fucking Kermit ass, bro. Okay, Zenny. Given how is this more? How does this has less assumptions in mind? Like, what
I mean,
assumptions?
look.
My
He
position.
doesn't really have to substantiate the claim. It's just the fact that you never questioned him, nor did you press him on that. So he just went
No,
through.
I literally, hold on, Zenny. I told you. I brought up how his position doesn't even like what I was saying, right? So
How
look,
does that include the
he
parsimony?
kept saying, hold on, wait, shut the fuck up,
Obviously,
fat
bro.
monkey.
He's obviously going against the conceivability.
I mean, obviously, bro, he didn't fucking do it properly. So listen,
Well, you
he
didn't
Yeah,
kept.
look.
attack what
Hold
I
on, hold on,
said,
wait.
I
dumbass.
mean,
Dumb fuck.
you
You
can just
got
say
dumb.
you did,
I can't talk. Why can't I
Booty.
talk? Wait, hold on.
Booty.
Why can I
Coke.
talk? Why can I not talk?
bro.
Why can I not
Look,
talk?
bro.
Why
Just
can I
go
not
ahead,
talk?
bro.
Can I talk?
Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go
Okay,
ahead. Just go ahead.
listen, Zenny. All Careless was saying is, in some possible world, there is a being who cannot imagine anything because they don't have the ability to imagine. Because they are
Look.
fucking non-intelligent. They aren't intelligent. They don't have intelligence. They don't possess that. So they don't possess mind.
Look. I agree.
Okay,
Look, I agree that the argument Carlos gave is dumb because I don't see how that. Look,
okay,
it does
wait. So
attack
how
the
does that defeat my
conceivability
point?
thesis. It does attack the look. I'm saying that I
Okay,
think
wait.
it's
So how
dumb.
do
You
you
probably could
win?
have given a better defeater, but you
Wait, how do
didn't.
you
He also claimed his was more parsimonious, which you never questioned.
win? Just the
So
fuck
it
I
really
did.
just went through. You guys
That's
concluded.
what I was questioning. Wait, hold on, Kumar,
You
are you
got.
here? Wait, Kumar, are
You
you
guys
here?
concluded.
Wait, hold on.
Here, and
Wait.
I'm just gonna say I did not catch you addressing parsimonious reasoning either.
Thank you, bro.
Oh,
Like I'm
You
just saying,
could
like
have.
I'm not
It's
saying
on
you're
rec,
bad,
but I
man.
clearly didn't hear it. I don't think anybody else
Yes,
did.
Boomer, do you not remember when I kept saying that what he's saying doesn't really attack what I'm saying, and it gives like it's not really the feeder, it's just like a non sequitur to my point, because I kept
That's
hold on,
vague.
I mean, no, I explained why. You want me to give the explanation?
No, I'm saying it's vague about what you're referring to when you state that.
Yeah, I was referring to as the feeder to my point when he kept saying that about when it's like analogy about the fucking where there can be somebody or some being, right, that doesn't possess the ability to imagine something.
Wait, so are you trying to say you didn't have to address parsimonious reasoning because you believe you defeated his stance already?
Yeah, I'm saying his stance doesn't attack mine, so I don't have to address it. It's more
the
parsimony.
parsimony was in reference to your stance.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Kage is saying that
I
the
literally gave
parsimonious
that point.
aspect doesn't matter because your stance, based off of what he's saying, he refuted it.
Okay, that doesn't matter because I gave my counter argument to the argument he gave. It doesn't
Right, so
matter,
the
bro.
parsimonious reasoning thing doesn't even matter anymore, so there's no reason to bring it up. What really matters
yeah,
right now is whether
literally.
or not Kage. What matters really right now is whether or not Kage properly refuted your argument.
Thank you.
Look.
That's not how that
I'm
works.
not gonna
But
dispute you because I think that is a good reason. But if Kage did explain why, his argument didn't defeat anything, and the Careless
Yeah,
never really
do
attacked
you want
that,
me to
then
like
Kage.
re-explain it? I explained it like five
no,
fucking
no,
times.
no,
hold
bro.
on,
Yeah,
The
Kage.
judge
hold on.
heard what
But
you said.
Hold on, Kage. I have to ask Zenny a question. Zenny, do you agree that if Kage believes he refuted Careless's main argument, the parsimonious reasoning would no longer matter?
I mean, if he
That's
never
not how
went again,
that
if he
works.
explained, look, if he justified the assumptions that his argument made, then yeah, Kage would have won.
Yeah,
Okay,
Kage is
thank
saying
you.
that the parsimonious reason doesn't matter because he addressed them.
Okay, did he ever
Yeah,
say
okay,
that in the
yeah. I said
debate? He has to say
if he
that in the
did,
debate.
then yeah, I
We're not
agree.
gonna do this.
Oh,
I said this at the end of the debate. I'm gonna slip this. No, no, no. What he was trying to contend the whole debate was my reason against his view on modality. Yes, I don't disagree with the fucking thesis outside the fucking debate. It was just a rap because Kage's fucking garbage and can't get past the argument. The point is
no,
that
look,
Damn.
that's
if he
fine,
Yeah,
Careless.
doesn't
rap,
That's
bro.
fine.
wait,
All I'm
stop,
You
saying
can
stop.
is
get
No,
that
ready.
no, no. We're not going to do this. I'm going to change the verdict last second. You gave me a verdict. You heard what he said. He never
yeah, I
once in the
agree.
whole
Look,
debate
man.
responded to the parsimony
Yeah.
thing. We're not going to try to twist verdict to give niggas a win. I hate when niggas do that. We're not doing that. Fuck.
Careless,
Bro,
like I'm
yeah,
not
but
trying
You
to say
literally
you
heard what
lost
he
or anything.
said.
No, Careless, I'm not trying to say you lost or anything, nor does my opinion matter because I'm not the judge. I'm simply stating that what should be addressed right now is whether Kage actually did refute it or not the parsimonious reasoning, because that's supplementary.
Hey, bro.
Do
Okay,
you
yeah. So
understand what
look.
I'm
No,
coming
no.
from,
Yeah.
Careless?
Okay. Okay.
I still
Okay.
disagree with
Wait.
that,
Hold
bro.
on. Kumar. If I explain it to you, can you explain it to them? Because I have bad explanation skills,
Right.
bro.
I
But I
mean,
promise
I
you, he
could, but wouldn't it be better for
understood.
the judge to mediate?
Yeah,
Because
yes,
you're
yes,
trying to
bro.
convince
Just
him?
thank you, bro.
No,
But
cause
look,
hold on. Yeah, the
all I
judge.
said was
Hold on.
if
I keep
Kage,
explaining. I keep explaining to Zenny, but he just doesn't understand my point because he's
no,
like
I
not
did.
listening, bro.
Oh my lord. Look. All I said was if Kage did explain why his argument is better while still having assumptions, then Kage would have won. But I personally didn't hear that, and if you could go back to the record and actually show that, then I
Right,
would
and
say
I
you
agree.
yeah, yeah. Go
More
on the
so,
record and find where you said that.
yeah, I agree with Zenny. But it's more so how did he refute? And so Kage, would you want to relay your reasoning and see if there's like
No,
a
Yeah.
direct
no,
Yes.
no.
Okay.
parsimony?
Okay. Wait.
Find the
Hold on. Wait.
timestamp.
No. Let me
We're
talk.
not
Let me talk.
doing
Let me
this
talk.
relay shit. No, find the timestamp. What are you talking about?
Bro, just
Relay.
shut
How is he gonna
up. Just
twist
shut
what he
up real quick.
said to make his
I'm just gonna relay
argument
my
seem
reasoning,
better?
bro.
just get no
No,
look. Just
we're
get the
not relaying
timestamp.
reasoning. We're not
Get
doing
the
that.
Yeah,
Get
exact
the
I'm gonna have to
timestamp.
agree with
We're
Careless.
not
Getting the
debate doing
timestamp
it,
will be
bro.
best.